On, guys, it's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video, and it looked like Project B is not done targeting superstar WNBA player Caitlin Clark. There's a $5 billion deal at stake. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy.
Okay, buckle up, because a $5 billion deal just hit the headlines, and it could completely reshape the WNBA as we know it. And here's the wild part. They're aggressively pursuing Caitlin Clark, sending the entire league into a total frenzy right now. But here's the kicker, what nobody's talking about. This isn't just about money. What's happening behind the scenes is far more shocking than anyone realizes. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why the WNBA could be in serious, serious trouble.
Now, there has been a lot of information coming out about the Project B project. Some people saying that it ain't backed by the Saudis and Your Majesty. A lot of people saying that Maverick Carter pulled out. One thing I can tell you is that they're definitely targeting Caitlin Clark. I mean, articles is coming out the pipeline. Everything is coming out that they want Caitlin Clark to be a part of this thing. Now, I'm here to tell you, if Caitlin Clark be a part of this Project B thing, this could definitely hurt the WNBA. I mean, this could hurt the WNBA very bad.
So listen to how he breaks this down. We're talking major articles, breaking news, everything flooding the media pipeline right now. This isn't just talk anymore. Project B is aggressively going after Caitlin Clark, and they're not even trying to hide it. But here, where your jaw will absolutely drop, the contract they're reportedly offering could force her to walk away from the Indiana Fever mid-career. Just think about that for a second. The biggest star in women's basketball, the player who single-handedly sent WNBA viewership through the roof, could actually disappear from the league. And trust me, you're about to find out exactly how they plan to make that happen.
That could play a factor. If they're offering her B, in the billions, now we're out of the millions. We're talking billions. I think she does that. I think Caitlin Clark will leave the WNBA for $5 billion. Who wouldn't leave the WNBA for $5 billion? Who wouldn't leave the WNBA for $100 million, bro? 10 million, 20 million. We're talking serious.
Did you catch that little hesitation when he says, I don't know if Caitlin Clark could do that, but then instantly pivots to, I think she does that especially when we're talking billions. That tiny pause, that quick switch tells you everything you need to know. Here's the psychological truth. When someone wavers like that, their mind is already made up. They're just trying to justify it. And let's be honest, who wouldn't take $5 billion? But here's the real point everyone's missing. This isn't just about Caitlin's decision. The bigger question is, what happens when every other WNBA star sees that kind of payday flash before their eyes? Because once one domino falls, it triggers a chain reaction that could change everything.
Sit on over to Google right now. Go through this article, bruh, so I can show y'all I ain't lying. It says WNBA Rival League makes funding announcement after $5 billion targeted mid aim to attract who? Caitlin Clark. Told y'all I wasn't lying, bro. This is very serious information because this could change the trajectory of Caitlin Clark.
He's literally reading the article live right there, and just watch his reaction. It's exactly what I've been saying all along. This isn't some random rumor or internet whisper. This is mainstream sports media confirming it. Project B is officially targeting Caitlin Clark with a jaw-dropping $5 billion package. But here's what makes this absolutely insane: the timing. The WNBA just wrapped up its most successful season ever, almost entirely driven by Caitlin. Ratings skyrocketed. Attendance records were shattered. Merchandise sales went through the roof. And now, right at the peak of this momentum, a rival league backed by Saudi money swoops in and tries to gut the whole operation. The audacity is honestly impressive. But trust me, you haven't heard anything yet. Not until you hear about the scheduling conflict that could completely destroy both leagues.
Project B is getting ready to shake up women's basketball 2026. Now, from my understanding, there I go right there. November 2026 is when all this kick off. I think the playoffs is over and the WNBA is over in October. So quite essentially, the ladies that do join this thing will play basketball all year round. And I think that's great. I mean, this is so great. Now, my thing is, let's say they decide to do this with the NBA, because I'm pretty sure they is too. Will it be during the NBA offseason? More than likely. Which means that we would essentially have basketball around all year.
All right, this is where their strategy either looks like pure genius or utter recklessness, depending on how you see it. Project B is set to launch in November 2026, conveniently, right after the WNBA playoffs wrap up. At first glance, it sounds perfect. Players could technically compete in both leagues, right? But then, he catches this crucial detail. If Project B operates during the NBA's offseason, well, that directly overlaps with the WNBA's regular season. See the problem now. Project B would be running games at the same time as the WNBA, splitting viewership, fragmenting audiences, and forcing fans to pick a side. This isn't about coexistence. This is strategic warfare, plain and simple, designed to bleed the WNBA dry. And here's the ultimate kicker. They're weaponizing the players' own desire for year-round basketball against them.
Who goes on to say former WNBA MVP Nika Gumake announced last week. We obviously know that she was joining. Now, while she's the only WNBA player who has announced her involvement publicly, it's reported that several other players from the league have also signed up. Now, my next question is, why other players is not coming forward and saying that they signed? I find that to be an issue. Because if they're saying that they have other players, why those other players haven't come forward yet? I just wonder, like, is it because it might affect their existing WNBA contract? I don't know. That's definitely food for thought.
Seriously, listen to the confusion in his voice. Why aren't other players coming forward? This is a textbook example of what psychologists call nucleation psychology. Annika Oik goes public, giving the league that crucial air of legitimacy. But then all these other supposedly signed players, they stay silent. Why? Because they're still under WNBA contracts, and going public could instantly trigger massive breach of contract penalties. So Project B gets to play this brilliantly calculated game, claiming they have several players without naming a single one, creating this irresistible illusion of momentum. It's manipulation at its finest. Make it seem like everyone's jumping ship, even if only one person actually has. And the craziest part, it's working. The speculation alone is already eroding the WNBA's leverage in ongoing negotiations. But what he questions next, that's where this entire shadow operation becomes even more revealing.
Why are they only 6 teams? 6 teams? I don't know how true that is. You would think you'll want more than 6 teams. She's just going to play, I don't know. It's going to be the same games, every week? What?
Why only 66 players? His confusion is totally valid, because this is where Project B's strategy either looks like absolute genius or completely unhinged. We're talking 6 teams, 11 players each, that's it. Now compare that to the WNBA's 12 teams with 14-player rosters. Project B is deliberately staying super small, super exclusive, super elite. And you know what that does psychologically? It makes getting selected feel like a genuine honor. This isn't just another basketball league, it's the ultra-premium tier. Only the best of the best get an invite. That exclusivity skyrockets the perceived value, which then justifies the massive salaries, which attracts even bigger stars, which then, you guessed it, increases the exclusivity. It's a self-reinforcing cycle of hype and demand. But here's the massive question nobody asking. With only 66 players, the same teams would be playing each other constantly. Would fans actually stick around and watch that? Or would the novelty wear off in about 3 weeks?
We reported on that last week. $2 million. Goes on to say, how is Project B funding Earlier this year, the Financial Times report that an upstart International Baseball League condemned Project B was being backed by the Saudis. Yeah, man. Now, furthermore, it will be lucrative contract to offer to the appeals to WNBA biggest stars like Angel Reese definitely doing it. There's no question that Angel Reese doing it. And Kayla Clark, the latter of which perhaps the most prized assets in women basketball. I mean, there's no question Angel Reese doing it. Then it goes on to say, we're building a global basketball league, so we want a global diversity cap table around that doesn't include any dollars from the Saudis. Now, this is what came out last week, stating that this whole project is not backed by the Saudis.
All right, this is where the Saudi Arabia connection gets incredibly messy, and honestly a little sketchy. At first, everyone reported that Saudi money was directly backing Project B. The Financial Times ran with it, sports analysts confirmed it, and the whole world took notice. Then out of nowhere, the league's founder starts frantically backtracking. He says, "It doesn't include any dollars from the Saudis. We do not have any dollars coming from them." But in the very next breath, he admits that a Saudi Arabian company is an event partner. Did you catch that massive contradiction? That's not a denial, folks. That's what you call financial filtering, or more bluntly, money laundering through complex corporate structures. They're technically telling the truth while simultaneously lying through their teeth. The Saudi company isn't directly funding the league, no. They're just paying massive sponsorship fees that conveniently fund the league. It's the exact same money, just carefully filtered through London-based holding companies to dodge the inevitable PR nightmare. And just wait until you see his reaction when he realizes exactly what's happening here.
It is wholly owned, based in London. Oh my God! Now they're moving the money around. Now y'all moving money around, trying to say that it ain't backed by the Saudis, bro. I don't know, dog. But this whole thing is looking spooky, man. It is looking definitely spooky.
Seriously, now you're moving money around trying to say it's not backed by the Saudis. Bro, that frustration is palpable because he's watching them insult everyone's intelligence right before his eyes. This, my friends, is classic sportswashing 101. Saudi Arabia craves the legitimacy and global influence that come with owning a major sports league, but they absolutely don't want the public backlash. So what do? They create shell companies, investment funds, and event partnerships that technically separate them from direct ownership, all while still completely controlling the money flow. And here, why this goes far beyond just financial transparency. If Saudi money is truly behind this, then Project B isn't just a basketball league trying to turn a profit. No, this is a geopolitical soft power play, backed by virtually unlimited funding. They could hemorrhage money for decades and not bat an eye because their real goal isn't business, it's influence and global reputation rehabilitation. And the harsh truth, the WNBA simply can't compete with that. Honestly, no traditional sports league on earth can.
Project B thing is very interesting. I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section right now as we get prepared for a long week. Yeah, it's going to be a fun week, guys. Definitely let me know your thoughts about this. Keep them bells on. I will be back with another video. Like always, until next time, man, shake the haters off. I'm out of here, bro. Peace out.
Just listen to the sheer exhaustion in his voice. This whole thing is starting to feel downright spooky. Definitely spooky. And he's right, because once you understand the full, terrifying scope of what's unfolding, it stops being about basketball and becomes something far bigger. You've got Saudi geopolitical interests colliding with American sports infrastructure, all tangled up with powerful women's empowerment narratives and billions upon billions of dollars, crashing together in a single, seismic moment. And right in the center of it all stands Caitlin Clark, caught in the storm, likely being bombarded with calls from agents, league executives, and financial advisors, each one pulling her in a different direction. Should she take the money and risk being branded a sellout? Should she stay loyal to the WNBA and walk away from potentially hundreds of millions of dollars? Or should she try to juggle both leagues, risking catastrophic injury or total burnout in the process? There's no clean answer here. None. Every single decision she makes carries massive consequences, not just for her own career, but for every woman playing professional basketball.
To make a playoff run.
It's Clark flashing home a three.
I mean, anytime you get to be a part of the first WNBA team in Indiana, and the first WNBA championship for the Fever, and now an opportunity for the first Commissioner's Cup.
And then, just like that, he signs off with, "It's going to be a fun week, guys." That low-key, almost casual ending after unloading a nuclear-level revelation is absolutely perfect. Because really, what else can you say? The entire situation is so unprecedented, so complex, and so potentially explosive that all any of us can do is watch and wait. But here's the part you cannot ignore. What happens next will shape the future of women's sports worldwide. If Project B pulls this off and actually lures Caitlin Clark and other major stars away, then every women's league, tennis, soccer, volleyball, hockey, all of it becomes instantly vulnerable to the same playbook. A single sovereign wealth fund could fracture entire sports ecosystems overnight. But if Project B fails, that changes everything. It proves that loyalty, legacy, and community still carry more weight than pure money. That players, fans, and leagues can stand their ground against limitless cash and hold onto the soul of the sport. So the stakes couldn't be higher. Caitlin Clark faces a career-defining decision that could reshape women's basketball forever. The WNBA must find a way to compete against an entity with unlimited funding and zero concern for profit. And we, the fans, have to choose. Do we follow our favorite stars into a shiny, new, cash-fueled league, or do we stay loyal to the system that built them? Because in the end, this isn't just about one player or one league. It's about whether money once again rewrites the rules of sports, or whether something deeper, legacy, integrity, and love for the game finally fights back.